shit, oh shit, no eyelash glue. Struggle's real, struggle's real. Hi guys! I told you I'm back on Thursday. You didn't believe me. Who's laughing now? But yeah, I'm back with a new video, but this one's going to be a bit different to my usual one. So basically, as you've probably seen on the camera, I am a lot of things. I am gay, mixed race, overweight, non-religious, this, that and t'other. To quote Glee, I essentially am culture. I'm kidding, but I'm literally a university's dream when it comes to equal opportunities. But yeah, and although that has definitely been a blessing, it's also been a curse, and I kind of wanted to start this new series, my Thursday series, called Breaking Down the Barriers. Now, what spurred this all off is a few weeks ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Josh. It was just before Christmas, and although now, I think upon reflection, I don't think I am, or at least right now, at the time, I was questioning my identity and whether or not I was transgender. It all sort of began because I started doing drag recently, and I really enjoy it, but then there was kind of an imbalance for me mentally between whether I enjoy it because I'm a performer and that's what I love to do, or because it felt right, almost. Yeah, but when I spoke to him about it, the recurring theme of the problem was that it wasn't that I was scared of being trans, it was that I didn't want to be because I thought it would affect my career. Because as I said, I really want to be a performer, and although the way is being paid for more transgender performers such as Laverne Cox and such not, it's still a very long path to tread. And not just in the performing arts business alone, but in general, trans people and gender identity are still not on the same level as people who are typically cisgender and conform to all the set boxes that society has provided for them. But when push comes to shove, it's all well and good saying, oh, this is a problem, but it's a case of how do we actually deal with it? Because if you think, general gender division and what essentially conjugal roles you'll play in society begin immediately at birth. I mean, when a doctor pulls out the baby, the first thing he says isn't, oh, they're healthy, or oh, they look happy. It's, are they a boy or a girl? And even at birth, when you give your baby a blanket, you're giving them a pink blanket or a blue blanket. And that's essentially saying to the world, okay, I am this is what my life says, this is what privileges and rights I do or don't have. But therein lies a fair of the problem, because in today's society I feel like sex and gender get combined into one thing too often. It's like when you get an application form for a job or a school or whatnot, and they seem to use the words sex and gender interchangeably when they are so not the same thing. And I feel like both carry more negative connotations than they do positive. Like, if we take sex alone as its own bracket, I mean, surely it's confusing enough because it has two separate meanings. One, who you biologically are, and two, who you're biologically attracted to. Like, when I say I am homosexual, the first thing that does is put me in the bracket of I like sleeping with men. And when you think about it, it's ridiculous how limiting that tiny three-letter word can be in deciding your entire life. With all this being said, how much better is it to use gender? Gender is no doubt a man-made construct, but we are now redefining it so it just purely expresses who we are on the inside. So at the same time, when gender is an entire spectrum, from male to female and everything in between, when you're provided two boxes with one saying M and one saying F and asked, which is your gender, that's extremely limiting. I know it's for simplification purposes, but I as a human being refuse to just be a letter. And naturally, because gender and sex are used so interchangeably, people get confused. Like, some people would argue, if gender is a man-made construct, then so is sexuality. What I mean is, as a heterosexual, you may be attracted to the femininity of a woman, but femininity in itself is somewhat of a social construct, because that implies, well, I mean, what is femininity? That's this quality in a woman, or if she has this and that. So therefore, you could believe that heterosexuality is just a construct too, because you're being told what you should be attracted to. Now, so that barrier doesn't get confused, this is why we need to go back to the difference between gender identity and sexual orientation. Now, when I say gender is a social construct, I'm specifically talking about the aspects of people that we define as masculine or feminine. Like, if a man wears a dress to school, he is more likely to be humiliated or bullied because that is something that is feminine and not masculine. And actually, these social rules shift over time because originally it was men who actually wore makeup and not the women. And now that has transgressed, so it's women instead. And although it is now becoming more popular for men to still groom themselves and use makeup, it is still a bit taboo. And of course, the same applies to the world of work. Like, if someone tells you they're a nurse and you don't know who they are, you'd naturally assume it's a woman. And if a man turned around and said, oh hey, I'm a beautician, or I'm a women's hairdresser, you instantly would think, well, he's more than likely homosexual. And although stereotypes exist for a reason, that reason is so limiting and so outdated. So what I mean by sexual orientation almost being part of this social construction is that if you're attracted to what is feminine, you have to remember a big part of what is being feminine is what society has told them is feminine, such as clothes and makeup. This is because the clothes and the makeup are there to enhance our female qualities. Like, connecting it back to the transgender thing at the start, if you were to see someone, if you were a heterosexual male and you saw a stunning woman, she was so attractive, and somebody had told you, oh, she's gorgeous, but she was born male, would that change your opinion? Now, unfortunately, for 90% of the population, the answer would be yes. So despite your obvious attraction to her, because she was not typically born female, you're therefore instantly no longer into her. But why is that? See, we as human beings are attracted to natural gender images, whether it be masculine, feminine, or somewhere in between. Sadly, the result of the social pressure is that you will reject your sexual attraction to this person because they are not typically born female, and whether they're female biologically or not, it matters regardless, because you're attracted to their femininity, but because they're not born female, you therefore are worried of being considered a homosexual for being with someone who is a woman, but who society may not define as a woman. But aside from femininity, stuff like disfigurement or piercings or tattoos or skin colour or weight, they all contribute to what you see as attractive. Not just personally, but what the media and such is telling you is attractive. But that's a topic for another time. So, ultimately, I'm just looking forward to the day where, wherever I feel like, whether I'm trans, whether I'm gender fluid, gender queer, or just plain male, I can express myself however I like without fear of... What is with the vibrating? Without fear of rejection. And look at my new end screen! Woo woo! Oh yeah, I know it's shoddy, but I've got an E in IT, alright? So bear off. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, it really does help. Comment below not only your opinions on the whole wide topic that is gender identity, but also if there's any topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Not just about gender, it could be about race, weight, representation, whatever. And subscribe if you want to see more. I do comedy videos on Monday, breaking down the barrier on Thursday. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye!